David and Anke Doehm began this Friday morning being hustled up the steps of the Supreme Court to await their application for bail. It was granted after the stroke of noon, despite the best arguments of prosecutor Jacqueline Willoughby of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions.
It is the position of our office that they have become a flight risk. One of the issues is you have to be able to take care of yourself in Belize. Their business is down. One of the petitioners has been released of his employment. They really have no other means here. They have no property. The issue of the children are in human services. There's matters before other courts that custody is being sought by the adoptive father. It is our view in our office that there's really no reason for them to stay here. This charge will yield them prison time of up to 10 years. But at the end of the day, it is in the discretion of the judge to determine whether or not he would give bail.
The defense, Richard Dickey Bradley and senior counsel Ellis Arnold, maintain that their clients should not be punished with removal of their liberty due to their financial status or public sentiment.
The arguments to support that ground of objection were not forthcoming. In the affidavit of the officer, the police officer, which went to something like 28 or 29 paragraphs, was a chronology of him being called by the very accused persons to say that the child appears to be very sick and is not breathing. And so they are just recounting that we went to the house, we met the family members, we saw the child on the bed, she was not breathing, we did this, we called the doctor, we then did that, we did this, we did that, gone on and on for paragraphs, but it did not tackle the issue. That is the sole ground of objection, meaning will these people cut out the moment they get, or as soon as they get the opportunity to leave the country? There was nothing to substantiate that. You may have heard our learned friend, the Crown Counsel, say that Mr. Doehm was working at one of the local airlines and had lost his job. When we were shown the letter, it was a panic decision to respond by saying, "Oh, we don't really want you to work here," when the kind of allegations are flying around your head. But he was working for the past 5 years that he stayed in this country. Both parents are permanent residents. Their passport has in that they are permanent residents of our country. They had in fact started the process to apply for citizenship. So the grounds that they are flight risk was not strong enough to convince a judge in the Supreme Court that he ought to lock them up until 2018 or 2019.
Bradley is referring to their notional trial date in the Supreme Court, although it was agreed in the Magistrates Court that disclosure would be given at the next court date on August 24th, and a preliminary inquiry would be held on October 7th in Belize City. He told News 5 that the court's conditions are to ensure that there is no repeat of what happened with David Nanishnitzer or Zurzadai Villaseñor Mendez, foreign nationals that previously skipped bail and never returned to face their charges.
You can't punish me if somebody never live up to their conditions. You can't look at all persons and bring up. You remember one time they get a boy the bail and me gone and not come back, and then you will use that to punish me? That is not how the justice system. Each case is on its own merits. If you do not turn up, you are a fugitive from justice. You have to hide the rest of your life until you are caught. In this particular case, you will see that in fact the judge went extra steps to protect the system, in the sense that now the American embassy, the mighty United States of America, through their embassy, is to make sure them man don't go to America or Canada or anywhere through any facilitation from them. Where are they going to go? If they go to states, they will bring them back. How do you reach states if you don't have a passport? What sometimes happens, I should say to you, because I do know, what does happen sometimes, an American citizen says nothing to his embassy, claims to have misplaced or lost the passport, and they give him a temporary travel document. The judge has covered up that loophole. You can't, no system is foolproof, but remember the principle that the judge is there to uphold the liberty of a person. I can't lock you up because somebody may run away. That has nothing to do with them. If they run, they will regret it. They will be caught and brought back to Belize.
But Susanna Ely, a San Pedro resident who sat in court and was an unofficial social worker on the island for many years, takes that with a grain of salt.
And I know what is justice system. We don't have no humans.
You believe they will flee the country?
Yes, they will, like everybody does.
And now what happened? You under 20 people thought it important to come out here today, but you failed.
I know justice will be done. There's one person they can run from. It's up there, but they don't have no conscience. They're the coldest person you've ever seen in this world. It's so sad.
Aaron Humes reporting for News 5.